Yes, as you can see from that video from my living room, Taiwan has been struck with a rather large earthquake all the way over in Hualien on the other side of the country. Not that that means that it wasn't big here. Taiwan is a small country and we definitely felt it here. It was a 7.4 earthquake over in Hualien. But what I find interesting about this is just how resilient Taiwanese people are and how little they panic when something like this happens.
地震的时候你感觉如何？
一开始有吓到，但是后来就是觉得其实还好，因为我觉得就那样。
一开始当然是有点紧张，但是后来就觉得哦，好像就是平常会遇到的地震这样子。对，因为台湾还蛮常地震的。
你觉得台湾人对地震有充足的准备吗？
应该说从小到大，因为我们在地震带上，所以我们学校就会有灌输一些理念，就是要做好，就是比如说急救包那些，可能就家里都会有备一个急救包，所以一发生地震，然后知道先做什么预防措施，像是要去梁柱下面去躲，或者是把门打开那些，基本做了之后，等到地震摇晃完，然后就拿着那个包就走。但是因为今天我那时候刚好要出门上班，所以就是评估完觉得应该没事，所以就直接出门，就是到空旷地方避难。所以我觉得台湾在地震教育方面真的是做得蛮足够的，应该正常，每个家人应该都会有一个包包去做紧急的状况做使用。
所以你今天要上班吗？
对啊，我们现在在上班。
哇，
对啊，
好，
我觉得都有因为例如说10几年前有很严重的921大地震，在那之后呢，其实台湾对于这种高楼的那种防震，还有它的结构都是有在加强。但是现在因为台湾也太常发生地震，所以说一般民众还是可能会觉得说就是地震，那地震来了就这样吧。所以说一般民众的准备有没有那么充足，可能不太一定这样子。
没有。
就想说这个地震不会影响到我们就很大啦。都是别的地方啊，譬如说水灾那些啊，那都是别的地方发生比较严重的我们这个台中啊都很平稳。
你记得921地震吗？还是你
我没有经历过？
哦，你太年轻的。
对，我刚好在地震的隔一年才出生，所以我没有经历到。
921有。我有经过。我在睡觉的时候被它一震醒来了，本来都不想跑，但是那个太大了。
太大了，对。
赶快下来跑出来，整条路都是人。
Because I think if this earthquake of this scale happened, anywhere else in the world, we would probably have a lot more panic and probably a lot more people talking about it. And that's why a lot of news agencies across the world are actually covering this earthquake because it was so big. But what I found interesting is that when it happened, I went onto my balcony, which you shouldn't do, but I just wanted to see the reaction. And all I saw were kind of elderly people walking out of their buildings, checking on each other, but there was no running, there was no screaming, there was no panicking or anything like that. Of course, there were some dogs barking and some other animals kind of freaking out a bit, but for the most part, people were not panicking at all. And I found that very, very interesting. This earthquake just happened this morning, so I don't know exactly the full extent of the damage. And in fact, my friend Alan, who you guys all know from Life in Taiwan, was out having his morning walk around the park, and he also had a hard time standing up.
Huge shaking, the ground was like displacing by, without sounding dramatic, I would say like a good 6 inches right to left, which is enough to really throw you off balance. And then turned around and there was an older gentleman, OAP, walking behind me. And he looked at me like with big wide eyes like, like earthquake. And I was like, yeah, that was a big one. It was like, henta.
I think one of the reasons you don't see people panicking or losing their minds or even disrupting their day, like people are still going to work after an earthquake this big, is because Taiwanese people are simply used to it. I feel like that's part of the character of the Taiwanese. It's something that's very interesting about them is that the sort of lack of public panic and this incredible sense of public order. There's no running, there's no screaming. People just simply calmly walk down the stairs to the safety of the outdoors. Or they straight up just don't. My friends Kat and Greg are visiting Taiwan all the way from Canada, and they're staying at a hotel all the way in Yilan. And they were saying how they were the only people in the hotel that seemed to be shocked about this massive earthquake that struck. No one else was really batting an eye. And that just again, shows the character of the Taiwanese, how they just don't have a panic. The other interesting thing I noticed is, like, back when I lived in China, I worked at an international school, and we used to do fire drills, and we had to, like, teach the locals there not to run out of the building, because the general idea in China is that there's so many people in a school, because the population's so high, right? So there's gonna be a lot of students, is that when there's a fire drill or a fire alarm or an actual fire, the idea is run as fast as you can out of that building. The problem with that, obviously, is it causes mass panic, and people get stuck inside the school doors, and they're unable to get out. But here it's not like that. Everyone was very calm, very collected, and I found it interesting, and I just wanted to share this quick video with you guys.